Are you guys looking for the latest release from Aputure here at the lighting booth? I'm going to give it to you right now, coming up. Hey, what is up, guys? Thanks so much for stopping by the channel today. My name's Timothy, and on this channel I focus on tech tools and tutorials to help you create the best content that you can for your YouTube channels and your productions. I'm here at NAB 2019 with Brandon from Aputure. Thanks so much for hanging out today, man. Super excited because Aputure had all of us creators out at a dinner last night, super secret dinner, and launched some incredible value, some amazing products that they held out. So this is actually video 2 from me at the Aputure booth. I'm going to link the other one up right up here in the video so you can check out an interview I did with Ted and see some of the amazing products that they have. But we got some incredible stuff that you guys dropped, just mind-blowing things. And so walk me through what this new light is that you guys just released.
So this is the Aputure MC. This is basically an RGB M9, if I'm going to put it any other way. It's just as lightweight, but sturdier metal build. We also have magnets on the back of it, 1/4-20 of course. And of course, what you're seeing right here, RGB lights. This is actually a WW RGB lights, meaning it has warm white and daylight color chips. In addition to the RGB, you have full hue, saturation, and intensity control. 36,000 colors because you're looking at 360 degrees of hue control and 100 degrees of saturation control, and of course, your intensity. So you have a lot of colors at your disposal, right in front of your face like an M9, just as bright as an M9, just as lightweight as an M9. It's really perfect and really portable for wherever you need to go.
And it also has this little screen on here that we can like tell everything about it, so we can know all the settings right there, right?
Yeah, so everything here is controlled through this dial, and on the screen right now you can see I'm in party mode on my effects wheel. So now I'm on cop car, so now I'm on TV, fireworks, paparazzi, just like you have on the other 120D and MWs. We're putting all our effects in our lights now. All of them, we want to make them as good and feature-filled for you as possible. So let's move on to, we can go to this HSI control. You can see I'm controlling hue right here. Everything from pink to blue to green. We got the whole shebang in here, right here. And then of course, you got your CCT control, as I talked about before. We got 3200 Kelvin to 5600 Kelvin, 6500 Kelvin, excuse me. So you have an expanded color temperature range for whatever you need.
Literally like any kind of color that I need, whether it's tungsten to regular daylight to effects and RGB. I've got this in this incredibly small package. But tell me how this thing charges.
So this thing charges via USB-C power delivery. It actually charges in 75 minutes using power delivery. But there's one more thing. We also are thinking about selling this in this wireless charging case. It includes 12 of these MC units. And just slap it in with the magnets right there. It'll hook in and start charging right away once it's plugged in.
That is insane. We have wireless charging on our lights. That is absolutely incredible. Super excited about that. But that's not the only thing. You talked about how we can control it on the light, but there's another way that we can control this light. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm cycling through the colors right here, and actually, I'm using my phone. So you can actually use an app to control all the Aputure lights going here forward. Of course, the app is gonna change to fit your light, so the 300D Mark II won't have color tunability, but this guy does. So you can have full HSI control, either through the color wheel or through hue and saturation right here.
So you just like glazed over that like it was nothing, but you just mentioned that this app also works with 300 Mark II, right? So it works on all of the next-gen lights that we talked about in our previous video.
Yes, all the next generation of Aputure lights will be app controllable. We want to make sure that you can control us with our wireless remote protocol, with our apps, with the actual manual functions on the control box. We want to give you as many options as possible.
One of the really neat features that we saw demonstrated to us last night, and I want Brandon to show us right now, is that inside this app, there's actually a color picker. So you can actually use the camera on your app and point and look at some sort of color, grab that and match it to the light. Can you show us how that works?
So right now we're in blue. We have two types of color pickers really. We have a source match and a color picker. The source match will match the color temperature of any lighting fixture, the white light fixture, and we have the color picker which will work with our RGB lights to make sure that we can reproduce any color that you're pointing at. We teased it, a physical version last year, but right now we have it in the app because we figure everyone's got to have this. So you can see right here, we're going to match Aputure red. And now we got this red and white light right here.
Yeah, that's insane, guys, that you can be able to match literally any colors. If you want some sort of effect and you've seen a color that you want, you can grab it, put it in the app, and get that exact color. You can also match colors around your set. So maybe, for example, you've got a tungsten light and you're trying to get it moved around with it and match it to another light. You can do that right here. That's really impressive.
Exactly. And if you ever need to tweak, you have intensity controls, hue controls, and saturation controls after the fact, so you can get that right color every single time.
That's amazing, and that's just like the very surface of what this app is capable of. There's a lot more functions in there, but tell me when this is going to be dropping.
We're looking at a late summer release date for this, kind of in line with our MCW RGB line of RGB lights that are going to be coming out. We're looking at that time. We're trying to get this app perfect for you guys. That's why everything's taking so long. Everything takes time, but we want to make it perfect so that when you bring it on set, you know that you got your lights that are reliable.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Aputure, is that you guys are always pushing it, but you're always delivering reliable things. Like this light, tell me about pricing and availability for this guy.
So right now we're looking at approximately $79 for this MC. Price is not set in stone, but that's what we're hoping to give you, $79. We're also looking at, if we're selling it in the 12 light kit with the wireless charger, we're thinking about $11.99 right now, so that's $1,200 for 12 lights and a wireless charging kit. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, that is insane value. That's not all, though. You also released another thing, and I want to be able to show that off to my viewers as well. So let's go check that out real quick. So not only do you have that amazing release, you also have this guy right here, this crazy little light bulb. Tell me about this.
Yes, this is the Aputure RC. This is our RGB LED light bulb, which means it has, again, like the MC, it has two daylight color chip, a tungsten color chip, and of course your RGB colors. As you can see, it's running through a color chase right now, going through a bunch of different colors. But that's not the only cool thing about this light bulb. Remember that shot in The Prestige where they take the light bulb out of the socket and it's still on? What do you know?
Wow.
What do you know? So this light bulb, actually, we put an 1800 milliamp battery inside of here, looking at max runtime of 60 minutes at full power and over 20 hours of runtime at minimum power. Whether you need this to actually be a practical in the middle of nowhere where you don't actually have power, or whether you want to hide a cable somewhere, in many, many situations where you just can't find a hot power outlet, this thing is going to be good to go and get you to where you need to be in a lot of different lighting situations.
So not only does this light have all of the same features that the other one does, we can control this by the app as well and do the same things like the color picker. Let's take a look at that.
Yes, of course. The color picker is going to work really, really well in here because of that diffused dome with the lighting. Right now we have it a pink. Let's wait for this thing to load and try and match it. We matched it to the blue of the bass a little bit.
Crazy.
And let's match it to the other blue on the top of the pass. Yes. And even lighter, just to match this blue right here. So we have our color picker is going to allow us to unlock a lot of features going forward.
And after you've chosen that color, you can even tweak it from there and to make it exactly how you want it. If you need to adjust saturation or any of that.
Right here, I can adjust the intensity right here. I can adjust the hue, just to really fine tune whatever color I need. And of course, decrease or increase the saturation to really, really match if my phone camera isn't giving me exactly what I want.
Perfect, I love that. So a lot of people think of these bulbs, the color changing bulbs, and they think smart home. But what does this give advantages for people like me, like filmmakers and creators and stuff like that? How do you envision us using this?
Well, of course, you actually can use this in your house as a smart home light bulb, but we made this for filmmakers. So unlike Philips Hue bulbs, unlike LifeX bulbs, this thing is flicker-free at any frame rate. So slow motion, 60p, 24p, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna get flicker-free frame rate, flicker-free color for all your lights, because that's what we do. We make lights for film. Philips Hue and LifeX don't really care about the CRI at these normal color temperatures that you're using, this 3000 Kelvin, this 5500 Kelvin. They just want to make sure that their RGB colors are saturated. And we know that you're going to use these in a lot of situations with white light, tungsten light, or daylight. So we know, as usual, we have CRIs and TLCIs of 95 plus as always.
I love that. And so lots of different use cases for this. Tell me the pricing and availability for this guy.
So right now with this, we're looking at a pricing of $59 for a single bulb. We're also selling them in packs of 2 and 4 for $115 and $225 for the pack of 2 and 4 respectively. Basically knocking off $5 for each additional bulb.
I love that. And so the last thing I want to talk about is just connectivity. A lot of the things that we rely on for wireless connection is Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but you guys are doing something really unique to be able to actually connect to a lot of different lights. So if I've got these light bulbs, say I've got a 300D Mark II, and I've got some of the other lights, that we can control them all through a special connection. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so all of our future lights will be controlled through Bluetooth SIG mesh technology. Now, Bluetooth typically will only allow for up to 7 devices on white paper, but actually 3 devices in practical use. Wi-Fi will allow for 50 to 100, but of course you need to bring a router, just like your for your luminaire. With Bluetooth SIG mesh, you actually have way more than 100. You have up to 65,000 connections, and each connection that you use makes your network stronger.
So just in case you need to put Aputure lights in an entire city and light them up, we can do that and connect it all up, right?
Yeah, for sure. So each step actually, so you can light one light that's 400 meters away from you and control that light as long as there is another light at 80 meters per step. So that's 5 steps of 80 meters up to 400 meters. So I don't think you're ever going to need to light a light that's that far away from you, but you have the ability.
You have the option. I love that about Aputure. You guys are always pushing it and giving us the best options. Now, say you're talking about me. I've got the 120D version 1. I've got some other lights that don't have this Bluetooth connectivity. There's something that you might be coming out with later on that lets me still have this kind of stuff.
Hopefully by the end of the year, we're going to be launching called the Sidus Link Bridge. Now, we knew personally that, okay, we're going to develop an app. We want to give everyone as much functionality as possible. We're that brand. We're going to give them the capabilities of control. But we didn't want to leave everyone in the dust. People just bought the 120D2. People still have their 300Ds. People even have their 672 still. And we want to give them the functionality that they now have with our new lights with the app. So the Sidus Link Bridge will actually use our app to connect to our old lights using RF technology, the Aputure Wireless Protocol, and actually able to allow you to control the dimming and the brightness, the color temperature of your old lights with the application. And in addition, even give you effects. Wow. All the effects that you have on your WRGB, minus the RGB effects, of course, that you're going to have, like explosions, paparazzi, you can give that all now to your 300Ds, to your 672s. Everything that you didn't have before, you can now have with the Sidus Link Bridge.
That's amazing. So you're not leaving us behind. You're bringing all of our products that we already have, these legacy products, and you're bringing them straight up to speed. I love that. Brandon, thanks so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you want to check out any of the products that we've talked about today, I'm going to leave links in the description below where you can buy them and find the best prices and availability. If you want to see more coverage from NAB 2019, you can click the link right here. You can check out the entire playlist of NAB coverage by clicking the link right here. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. I hope you are filled with great ideas, and I'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.